Hey everybody, Rhadamant here. Thanks for tuning in to episode 88 of Frost and Fire. Last episode, we had Storbeck head out to an aerial assault on his own to fulfill this happy little quest here. The aerial assault granting him 11 honor, granting him the ability to be a yeoman. I did get a YouTube comment wondering about trying to load in equipment in the shuttle that shuttles you to the area assault, and I just want to remind people that it is impossible. If you try to load items into the shuttle, you will not get an item drop down. You are welcome to try this for yourself, but that is why it is impossible to bring heavy objects to an area assault. You can only bring what fits on your person, and you still have to use the caravan trick to do just that. But that's exactly what I did, and that's definitely the right approach, especially if you are dangerously outnumbered. If you had an aerial assault where you sent more than just a few people, you might have the carry weight in a caravan to get away with bringing a turret or two. But with that said, it's probably pretty easy to assemble on site as well. Now, some other feedback I got from you all. One feedback was that Storbeck is not on a night owl schedule, so I'm going to fix that. And then I'm going to put everybody back on a normal schedule without tons of recreation. They're happy enough, obviously. And that was a reminder from Christoph. Paul reminded me that this heater in here is off, and I should turn that on to keep the freezers warmer. I know that sounds very strange, but it's something that's actually critically important. And I'm also going to start to load in rice in these hoppers so that we can make more nutrient-paced meals. Ooh, we have an Imperial trader flying overhead. That could be incredibly lucrative. So let me see about what they have to offer. The last tip I received, the first person to mention it was Azuria. Azuria mentioned that I could possibly skip the human leather to safety. But with that said, I want to make something very clear. When you use skip, or rather, I should say it like this. When you enter the radius of Inferno turrets or Inferno centipedes, shield belts do not really protect you from fire. So if I was to have her skip this leather to safety, I would also require Raptor to use Smoke Pop, because of course, Smoke Pop here, the Psycast or the belt, will stop turrets as long as the smoke is deployed from targeting you. So if you want to travel into a territory that is covered by turrets, you can of course put Smoke Pop down. Now the one caveat is if there was an Inferno centipede, there's really nothing to stop the Inferno centipede from shooting at and perhaps burning a shield belted protected person. And that would be the one situation where it would be dangerous for you to travel into the radius, because honestly, the likelihood is that you would burn to death. And I don't think people want to burn to death. Because as soon as you're set on fire, you'll panic, run around, you'll be shot, your shield belt will break, and that will be it. You will be but a memory. All right, Imperial Trader, what do you got? You've got a lot of advanced components. Now, I'm only interested in buying these advanced components simply because my wealth is ridiculously high and I'm looking to burn some wealth. They also have a Zeus hammer. It's a persona weapon with mad muttering. Nope. Not going to go with mad muttering. There's the possibility of wanting someone who is a full-time Psycaster. Now, the only caveat to that is, of course, in Frost and Fire, it's going to be really difficult to wear Psycaster gear, given that it is not custom tailored for the temperatures. So that's a bit of a problem, of course, that you wear it, you freeze, or burn to death. And then it looks like besides molecular analysis, which I'm going to buy anyway, there really isn't anything fantastic sold here, unless I want to go with an L-Tech staff. Now, let me trade here. With Storbeck, Storbeck is a jogger is hypersensitive, but isn't really a high-level Psycaster. The only Psycaster that would make sense to be a full-time Psycaster would probably be Raptor, because Hippie has a gun, and full-time Psycasters are generally shield-belted. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to be full-time Psycasting, but one of the huge benefits I just got here was I am now officially allied with the United Cities. I do have this outstanding Scourge Pod quest, which will add 32 goodwill between me and the United Cities, but being allied means that I'm going to be able to call in favors, which is honestly phenomenal, because I can call in trade caravans, and the trade caravans might have additional Psycasts like Farskip or Neuroquake, which would be absolutely game-changing for me. And there's molecular analysis unlocked. So I think the next thing I'm going to do is try to get that human leather, only because Raptor is Bloodlust and would benefit, and because he has the Psychic Harmonizer, it's very important for him to be happy. So what I could do is I could make him like royal clothing out of the human leather, so that in cases of psychic drones, I could wear it. And that way, psychic drones, their negative mood modifiers are lessened as a result. We are whittling down our plasteel quantity and our uranium quantity, and that is a result of all of the Phoenix armor that I'm making. I'm definitely not going to stop making Phoenix armor, because Phoenix armor is going to be essential for reactor survival, because of how tough it is, and in a pinch, you can even launch the incendiaries. Our society here is deeply addicted to steel, so another thing I want to do is to bolster the amount of steel that I have in my backup stockpile, so that if during the reactor raids I need to reload a whole lot, which I fully suspect I will need to, we have a nice bounty of steel to lean into. With that said, it is cranking our colony wealth up higher and higher and higher. So there is a inherent risk accumulating steel and other materials, because it will inevitably cause larger raids as we are wealthier. A risk to be sure, but one I'm willing to take. Because the alternative of not having enough steel is that all of our turrets get overrun and we die. Another okay. All right, hold on. I guess Raptor, you're gonna have to wake up again. So this one is called Magpie. The last one was Metis. Metis Lubricants. Ew, that is disgusting. And Magpie Industries. All right. This is pretty lucky. Neurocomputation. Learning assistance wouldn't be terrible. I'm gonna buy that as well. Or let me make sure I don't have it. Yeah, I don't have it. Okay, neurocomputation. More advanced components. I am trying to bankrupt myself if that hasn't been made obvious. The less money that I have, the smaller the raids I will have. So, as odd as it might sound, it really is in my best interest to be poor. As poor as I can. Let's cover the roof back up and have Raptor apply the tech print. And then if we take a look at a research tree that is everything but these three. Compact weaponry, poison synthesis, and specialized limbs. And of those three, I don't really intend to use any of them. Specialized limbs is nice, but it's probably not something I'm going to employ, because it comes with penalties. If you want to see, I will show you. So if we take a look at the compact weaponry and poison synthesis is sort of like novelties. And the poison synthesis isn't really going to work against Reapers because they're robotic. But the specialized limbs for drill arm, it comes with a move speed penalty Field Hand, again, move speed penalty, and Power Claw, move speed penalties. The Power Claw is a very powerful weapon, so if you have a shooter and a brawler who's very fast, you can have them equip Power Claws, and what ends up happening is if they get within melee range of an enemy, they can start using their Power Claws to slice and dice, and the Power Claw is a fairly decent, it's I think on par roughly with like a normal quality Plasteel Gladius, something like that. It's a very powerful weapon, so there's a real advantage to sporting a Power Claw. However, you know, I tend to find in RimWorld it's best to specialize in one or the other, ranged or melee, and not try to do a hybrid of both, because you won't really benefit. You know, a ranged person can't use the shield belt, and a brawler without a shield belt is very, very vulnerable, is all I'm going to say. All right, once Raptor's psi focus gets up a little bit higher, I'll try to get the human leather for crafting purposes. Very strange that Randy would drop that on me, but I'm a little worried. When Randy is gifting things like human leather to me, that's, to me, sort of the sign of the end times. So here my constructors are trying to repair all the things that were previously broken. And I did mention that I'm not intending to replace these with stone or anything like that. I think it's so rare that we have a fire back there that engineering our stockpile for fires when they happen once every 8 years is unnecessary and overkill. So this will be Phoenix Armor number 5. 5, of course, of 8. So we're over halfway there. After we're done with the Phoenix Armor, I'm going to spend some time trying to get more bionics in people. Having everyone have bionic limbs of every limb will be nice, because the bleed out risk will be lowered. There will be no chance to lose fingers or toes, which is really nice, considering that in RimWorld, you don't have fingers and toe coverage unless you have armor skins, which is strange, but that's just the case. And now Raptor has enough honor to call in a salvo, which could be life-saving. All right, JD, sorry to do this to you, but you are going to be our NPMer for a bit. The animals were dwindling their food supply, and if you're wondering, it is more economical, more bang for your buck, so to speak, to turn rice into nutrient paste meals than to feed the rice alone. So the only reason why you would want to feed raw materials to a pet is if that pet is able to eat hay. Of course, in Frost and Fire, hay is just about, I wouldn't say it's impossible to grow, but it's very, very difficult to grow because of the way the mod is set up. So you're not likely to have a supply of hay, because hay doesn't grow hydroponically, and as a result, you're probably not going to have any. just throw it out there. You're probably not going to have any hay. You could hypothetically grow hay in the caves here, but you'd have to warm it up and then have a grow light, and it would be very expensive for, you know, for a, and then you'd have to haul it and protect it. It would be a headache. You could do it, but if you toggle the fertility overlay, you can see what I mean. There's only a few spots anywhere on this map that is conducive to plant growth, and that's why it's a machine world. Organics aren't really supposed to exist here. So probably tomorrow, Raptor will have enough psi focus to tangle with the mechanoids that are out there, just to try to get that human leather for royal clothing. This here might be the last Phoenix armor that we make for a while, given the limitations of our plasteel. Yeah, we're gonna be out of plasteel for sure. Because as you can see, the Phoenix armor requires a remarkable amount of resources. Right, 150 plasteel, 6 advanced components, 75 steel, 50 uranium, 4 components, and chem fuel. It is not an inexpensive endeavor, but 5 excellent Phoenix armors. I really couldn't ask for a better yield. That is fantastic. And when we have those on, we'll be functionally immune to fire or heat for the summer, meaning that we can be super well armored and still wear cataphract helmets. That's the real kicker. They'd also be pretty good armors if we absolutely needed to in a pinch, due to the heat resistance of them. In a pinch, they'd be pretty good armors to deal with bugs, because of course you could launch the charges, right? They're loaded up with a flame bolt launcher, so that you could launch with your Phoenix armor flame bolts at the bugs, setting them on fire and making it easier to deal with large swarms. Ooh, steel from the sky. I could get behind that. Just remember that if you have a flame bolt launcher, if you have Phoenix armor on a brawler, it's not going to do anything. You cannot use Grenadier armor or Phoenix armor or anything that launches anything. You cannot launch projectiles with a shield belt on. So if your brawlers have shield belts, you are going to be completely and utterly out of luck if you're trying to use Phoenix armor. But I'm making Phoenix armor for the brawlers anyway, just for the armor and the heat resist. So, you know, I'm not planning on utilizing the flame bolts as much. Okay, I'm going to stop mining these tunnels temporarily so that I might deep drill the plasteel. Trying to get our plasteel amounts back up. And I'm also smoothing out this mountain here. Partially because I have nothing better to do, partially because it will allow me to repair in case sappers try to go through some weird, you know, method of sapping me. I don't know. It's not likely, but it's possible. Another thing I need to do is to reset some doors for valid pathing. There we go. That door should have been opened. And I think all of my doors are correct now. The Reapers that are supposed to be following and stalking Storbeck, I don't think they're working. Something tells me that they would have been here by now. I think it's a lie. I don't know what's going on with that. My rice stockpiles are a little low. I'm not entirely sure why Storbeck is actually making chem fuel out of this rice, given that I'm over capacity. But I'm not going to stop him either. One extra run of rice should be fine. Alright, Raptor. Looks to me like you and your newly wedded wife are going to go get some lovely human leather for your bloodlust requirements. So I'm going to let Hippie eat. Raptor's eaten recently. Alright, so she's eaten. And then looks like she needs a little recreation. But I think I'm going to stop that. Her Psycaster full so she can meditate later. We are going to grab a shield belt. Even though she is a ranged weapon, I don't care. And we are going to meet out here. So she'll ditch her jetpack for now. There's a bunch of blood spiders that are just unconscious because it's too cold. There's 4 there and 1 here. Okay. I mean, that's free insect meat. I had no idea they were out here. But that works for me. So Raptor will be... Let's see here. Don't rescue it. Come on now. All right, I'll do this with someone else. JD, you can come out. Let's schedule everybody to stay inside. JD will come out and finish them off. So I've marked down in build plans roughly where the Inferno turret range is. And the other thing I'm going to want to mark down is the expectation, or basically the range at which I can expect to be shot at, so that I have a good understanding of risk here. So here is the I get shot at line, and here is the I get set on fire line. I don't want to go north of the I get set on fire line, as that would be real bad. All right, so Raptor, if we need to, absolutely need to, Raptor can lay down smoke pop. That's why he's basically here, to help with the smoke pop. And then Hippie is going to try to use Skip to bring... Oh, they got aggroed. Yeah, that's... Here's what I'm going to do. All these annoying Scythers. They're going to get messed with by me. If there's a time that I can whittle down the mechs, this is enough mechs that they'll absolutely clobber. They'll absolutely clobber any reasonably sized Reaper raids. So I don't really need to keep all the mechs alive. All right, looks like they're resetting. Oh man. So two more are dead. And JD, you're gonna be unrestricted so that you can hunt. Just kill them all off. All right, Hippie, this is the... Any closer to there that you get. Let me smoke pop. And we'll start to attract attention. So I'm going to ditch attention here. We got the majority of the human leather, and I'll get the rest once the attention dies down a little bit. Also, we need to recover heat too. Psy-casting heat, that is. A Psychic Soothe male. Wow. They really want me happy. And then I think before we go for the last one, Raptor is going to warm up because it is it's too cold for him to continue operating. So that's 3 of 4 stacks. And then the last stack, we're going to have to make a sort of approach like this for the line of sight. A few more bugs. I know there's one more bug out there. There's one more blood spider just sitting here that'll get sometime in the future. But Mr. Raptor needs to warm up. Let's see. Hippie, you... No, not Hippie. Phoenix. Unrestricted. Go melee that bug to death. So once Raptor gets rid of all of his hypothermia and gets a little bit more psi focus, I'll go and try to get that last stack. And then to try to grab all the stacks and bring them home. So all of the nutrient paste meals that we cranked out with rice, we got up to about 100, and hopefully we'll get a few more than that. Okay, we are cleared for another attempt. Gabe has inspired recruit, which is always funny to me because there's absolutely no one to recruit just about ever. Another thing I'm going to do is set up a little stockpile here, and then let's create a zone. Yeah, this is why I was not exactly certain I was going to do this, but create a little zone so that Raptor can haul this leather out of the radius of the turrets. And in fact, yeah, there's going to be a lot of hell to pay in a second. There we go. All right, let's, luckily we have movement speed, right? So that even the fastest scyther cannot outrun us. I berserked it, but it's clearly just onto me. And there we go. We have all 131 human leather pulled out carefully. I'm going to stick around so that I can finish the job. And maybe have the scythers off each other a little bit. At this point, Hippie would be well suited to drop her shield belt so that she could take shots at them. Because this scyther is sort of separated from its parent group. And there we go. All right, so let's force equip and haul, unrestrict, haul that leather clear. Because I don't think they're going to pay any attention to me. Okay, that's not the leather, buddy. The mechs here are very, very finicky, and they want to fight me so very badly that anytime I'm even sort of remotely on their radar, they go all aggro. Okay, so that's the last of the human leather. We are leaving a meal out there, but like whatever. And we'll do the walk home, back to the stockpile. Another meteor to gold ore. Dang, all right. Okay. Randy, I think, is trying to lure me into the mechs. There, I really don't have another explanation for why there are 2 gold asteroids, or meteorites rather, right next to them, the mechanoids. Seems like he has a plan for me, and that plan is for me to get shot to hell. Now let's switch back off of the shield belt. And operation complete, we have all the human leather. So, if we take a look at the clothing that a count wants to wear, right? Because that's kind of important. We can figure that out here. So, required apparel. For males, it would be a formal shirt, a formal vest, a prestige robe. Let's do the prestige robe first and see what we have left. So a prestige robe here will run us how much leather? 100? That will leave us 31 left over. Maybe there's a better combination for us to make. Let me take a look at that. A formal shirt and a formal vest. What would they run? Formal shirt and formal vest. So formal shirt is 65 and a vest is 45. Let's do that instead of the prestige robe. Leather human. It's a little gross. Very gruesome that we're making it, but it will have its benefits. Base is getting a little on the cold side, so I'm going to turn on some additional coolers, or heaters rather. And then I'm keeping an eye on here. Once it becomes apparent that it is virtually impossible to keep the 9 cells that the ground penetrating scanner requires to be on, I will ditch the goal of having that on. Let me just turn on all the heaters so I know exactly how much heat I'm producing. All right, I believe all my heaters are on. Nice. So, it's about 6. It's cool in this room, but it's not frigid. The coolers that are here can be roofed up, and the chimney's roofed up. There's no need for coolers anymore. It is sufficiently cold out. And that will help to insulate as well. Look at the straight green. Someone's happy. There's not a lot of plasteel left here. There's about, what, 680? Yeah. Not a ton. Not a ton, but that's enough to make probably the remainder of the armor that we require. Didn't actually do napkin math, but given that we only need, what, 2 more Phoenix armors, yeah, that will be fine. It's only, I think, a 150 per armor. All right, JD. Let's see about tailoring the human leather, just because I know chat will want me to do that. And then we'll have Raptor wear it and see if his mood goes up or down, given his normal mood. Now, the armor of this clothing is not going to be all that helpful. Let's see, bowler hat costs 20. I could do another bowler hat with human leather. We'll see. Fortunately, he's not a hard man to please. All right, that's 2 of 3 human leather items. Okay. So if we donned this, interestingly enough, it's a, all right, so it's a +6. It's a net of +2 because of the count specific apparel. If we just wore the shirt instead, it's a +2. So just the shirt alone is as good as all of it. I'm going to ditch the shirt because, of course, we don't need to be doing durability damage to it at the moment. And it's not like he's in a bad mood or anything like that. Anyway. Let's see here. You know, does he not normally wear a shirt? Yeah, that's another, All right, let's make a formal shirt out of the Leviathan. Because I feel like he should be wearing a shirt, and Leviathan formal shirt should offer a fair bit of protection. And given that he's a brawler, he definitely comes in contact with, enemies. That brings his sharp up a little. Not a ton, but something. All right, JD, let's not let you starve. Sorry. We've been having you craft so hard that easy to ignore your needs. So we're still hauling away the material of the Ancient Danger. And then we have about 700 more steel to haul and a lot of slag to process if we want it. I'm being warned, of course, that Raptor needs warm clothing, but as long as the ground penetrating scanning room isn't absolutely frozen to the core, I'm just going to have him keep at it. Stay the course. Storbeck with an inspired trade. Huh. That does bring his trade price improvement higher than Raptor's. So if there's something, some trade to be had, yeah, sounds good. More inspired surgery. You kill me, game. That's all I ever get. So there we go. We have one more Phoenix armor, I think. Where'd it go? Oh, Cauterize has it. It's good quality. Okay. This ruined our excellent spree, but I can't complain. It's pretty insane. So to make another Phoenix armor, it says I'm missing material. This material would be what? Uranium? Nope. It's definitely not uranium. It'd be plasteel. Because we need 150 plasteel. We only have 116. Which means Gabe has some mining to do. And I'm going to nudge some things around to allow Leth to mine up some plasteel as well. Double the gain. Okay, there we go. So the amount of scythers, wow, they still have 9 scythers. I think that's because they're the mech assembler, primarily. That mech assembler is really the cause of a lot of problems. As they always are. But better a scyther than centipedes. Centipedes are very hard to kill. Well, we're officially below a negative 100 C, which bugs out the heat map mod, because the heat map mod never thought that there'd be so many digits used. It's pretty funny, right? It's so cold that it can't even be displayed normally. No fault of the heat map mod, but with that negative sign, there's technically 4 digits of information to be provided of temperature, and that is a lot. That is a lot. Well, the hope here is that something causes this mech cluster to get destroyed before the spring, before I call in Imperial favors. But I'll do it myself if it comes to that. I'm relatively surprised that Randy has let me just skate by. There's not... I mean, I'm sure I'm jinxing it, but there's really not been eventful combat, just allowing me to gain some human leather and... Oh, there we are. Outlaw Camp. Prince Finch, Prime Counselor of Machinists, has sent us a message. Apparently, skeletons based in a nearby camp have been raiding their caravans. The camp is controlled by Reapers. Yeah, no kidding. Asked us to destroy the camp. It is guarded by 14. It's kind of a lot. The camp loot kind of sucks. Or I don't know about the camp loot, but the rewards aren't all that interesting. The rewards, of course, shock lances don't really work against reapers. I mean, they're fine, whatever, but I don't really need a skill trainer artistic. I think the first choice is better than the second choice. The second choice, the animal pulsar, is utterly worthless. And then a little bit of silver. And then, of course, reputation doesn't really help because we are already allied. So, big deal. I'm not certain that that's something I'm going to accept. Just because doesn't seem to me like it's worth the effort of killing 14 skeletons and trekking out to a remote location and all the rest of the requirements for paltry benefit. It's not that I'm scared of the fight, it's that the payment for the fight is terrible. So we're heading into deep winter now. It's heading into the 4th of winter. And I'm being warned, of course, that I need warm clothing because it is so very cold. I don't think at this point I'm going to switch over to toques because people aren't outside for very long. They're mostly just hauling. But this stockpile, oh boy, it is filling up fast. I'm going to see about merging some of the piles here to reduce the amount of room it takes. I don't know why there isn't like a hauling for merge purposes, but I feel like, especially late game, you'll have a lot of stockpiles that are just, you know, ridiculously mismanaged and require a lot of merging. Because I just freed up, I don't know, like 5 spots from merging. And hey, a raid of reapers. Okay, finally. If you were wondering where are the reapers, well, here they are. Here's the kicker. It's a sapper raid. So these raiders are almost certainly going to, what are they? Kadath and Diamond. Hey, it's another Diamond. Are going to, oh boy, God is coming to raid me. Are going to run into the mech cluster. There is Angel Terra and El Coco. There's not a lot of raiders up here that worry me. So I think these guys are going to head south to try to thwart this group here. Optimus and Horseweed, like, you know, take care of this group quickly. Because I don't want that. I don't know what their point of entry is going to be, but I don't want to know. I just want to kill them. Okay, we got one of them already. This blade here, this foreign saber, yeah, don't want to get hit by that. So, Hippie, skip Hambu away. Here's Cauterize. They're sapping, but they're kind of ignoring me right now, so I'm just going to aim for their danger people. I will take every advantage I can of them ignoring me as a target. I can hear the, yep, here we go. I can hear the mech cluster spinning up. It looks like Optimus is sapping into a very strange point. I don't actually know where they're going. Oh, and they're sapping my wall. Okay, so this group will also, instead of going around the wall, they're going through it, but they will also go through the mech cluster. which is fine by me. And then here, as you can see, the advantage of movement speed. These guys are trying to outrun me, and I'm more or less running them down. I'm curious where Optimus is going, but if Optimus isn't going to sap through here... Oh, hold on. So, Psycasts aren't going to work on Sunny, because he's, Reaper. But, yeah, we absolutely just turned on him in a heartbeat. I like how they were so on a mission to go somewhere. Oh, yeah, snipe Optimus, come on. Let's get inside and stop Optimus from setting fires to... Okay, yeah, he's sapping here. So this is exactly the sap point I wanted them to sap, but of course, I'm not going to allow him to burn down a door if I can help it. This point right here is the sap trap, you know, so that sappers go through my deadfall traps. So it is with great pleasure that I can confirm that my sap trap works, because here Optimus is attempting to break into the sapper trap, having spawned here, so it's not even like a close travel marker or whatever. Don't throw that at me. Don't throw that at me. Dodged. Okay, there we go. The rest of these Reapers are dead, more or less. And let's reset. Raptors barely make it inside before the hypothermia kicks in a bad way. He's seriously hypothermic. He's not wearing the clothing that everyone else is wearing. Even Hippie is succumbing to it now. Camino is just... Oh, there it goes. Okay, well, there's far fewer, as you can see, even the... Ooh, Luciferium, huh? Even the Reapers managed to take down quite a lot of Scythers, surprisingly. A lot of Scythers, because they are tough. They aren't pushovers. But that's all the time I have. If you have any feedback for me, let me know in the comments below. Thank you so very much for watching. It was my absolute pleasure to bring this to you. I'll catch you next episode. Farewell, everybody.